Hello, hello. Today we celebrate a minor miracle. There is a new chapter of the One Punch Man webcomic. I'm sorry, did I say a minor miracle? This is actually a huge fucking miracle. So I was just rereading the past previous chapters, the past couple. They came out a while ago, 2 years ago, and for a while there was actually a decent cadence going on at that time, and then it abruptly stopped. Shoutouts Vibhav, sorry, as always, for scanlighting these, and for also letting me know in my Discord server that a new chapter had come out. I'm very excited to read this. Now, I feel like if there was ever a time to take a break, in a certain sense, this is the worst time, because we're kicking off a huge, full-scale robot invasion of the metropolitan areas of this series, requiring a full-scale response from all the heroes and all the hero organizations, essentially taking all these like different interwoven plot lines around the Neo heroes and the shady things they're doing and the tension between them and the hero organization and kidnapping Metal Bat and even sillier plot lines like Saitama and the Heroes with Bad Names Association, taking all that stuff and just like throwing it in the blender, a very mechanized blender. And now we have this overwhelming new threat that's going to just kind of reshuffle all of the allegiances and rivalries and expose so much. And God, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. So, in a certain sense, it's very, very painful that we got right up until this point and then stopped. Because my urge to know what happens next was very strong for those last 2 years. But at the same time, I can see why one would want to take a break, really think about how this is going to go down, work on drawing it, work on how he's going to present it, work on thinking through the pacing of the story and what all it needs to contain. Because we're stepping into something monumental here. The battle against Metal Knight is one that's been foreshadowed for like over a decade now, real time, right? First mentioned in the aftermath of the Alien Invasion arc, when Drive Knight kind of casually just mentions to Genos, oh yeah, you know that Metal Knight guy? He's your enemy. And not until now have we seen the fullest extent of that promise. Alright, let's head into 142. Shoutouts as always to Vibhav and Grey Words, the dynamic duo. Here we see... I really like this panel. It's like such a quintessential Japanese scene, the crow sitting atop the power lines and stuff. Just the positioning and placement of the buildings and stuff, the foregrounding and backgrounding is really nice. And then these huge lasers drawn with just the MS Paint line tool slashing through the building. Awesome, awesome. We're off to a good start. In this panel alone, probably like 8,000 people died. Crazy. What just happened? It's too early for all this noise. An earthquake? Destruction? Controlled demolition? Necessarily? No way. Building fall down? Grass explosion? It's not a monster. See, this is just it, is that the city had become so reliant on Metal Knight's monster detecting infrastructure and alert systems and stuff that the fact that those haven't gone off, I think, is like baffling to them, right? Like this combination of events of danger and no alert should never happen. Robot things are marching. So what is Metal Knight's plan though? Because he always seems so devious that he was like working his way into the city's good graces and stuff. What I always felt is that he would both simulate and exterminate a threat. He would do that old Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan kind of trick where you make yourself the savior and put yourself in a position of influence and power and belovedness. But here he's just like annihilating everything. And who can be blamed but him? Who else has all these robots? So does he maybe just not care about any of that stuff? He doesn't care about his reputation after this? He just wants to crush, kill, destroy? Wow. This is crazy. And I feel like this page, there's all these very human little conversations. We can see people popping out of their windows and stuff. talking about their family members, the amount of character and personality. And then the clear implication here is that these people are all dead. These people are all annihilated. Now, this series deals with, pretty high power level stuff, like cities getting wiped off the map and, imminent risks of all sorts of dangers, but there's never been a big focus on death and the fact that people are getting blown up, like really focusing on individuals getting blown up. Whenever there's a focus on like a civilian or a group of civilians in danger, they're always rescued, Like the whole thing where the Sea King was keeping a whole bunch of people hostage and torturing licenseless rider and stuff. Those people were rescued. Like this is kind of a new scale of brutality to really be showing all these human elements, to be focused so much on these buildings blowing up. The inhumanity of it. Showing humanity such that you really recognize the inhumanity of it. I wonder how strong each of these robots are. Because these laser blasts are just annihilating stuff. They might be leveled like demon on their own. And there's hundreds of them. Okay, here's our boy, Genos, stepping in his new equipment, his final armor set. The posthumous gift of Dr. Kusuno. Is it enough? How big of an upgrade is it? We don't really know. He kind of did defeat 3 dragon level threats in the last chapter, which is by far his, oh my god, I can't speak, by far his strongest feat of strength thus far. And this is an upgrade beyond that. So Genos might be kind of near the upper tiers of the power echelons now. Okay, great shot, great panel. Can see why this took our boy 1-2 years to work on. Just orgies of destruction in these chapters. The last one too, where Saitama destroys 5 robots at once. I think 1 is getting really good at these sorts of shots. Like, they're extremely chaotic and hard to kind of parse at a glance, but it's like not a trick. It's not like it's actually just scribbles when you kind of look at it and break it down and scan everything that's happening. It's actually like a very coherent scene. It's just so overwhelming and full of stuff. Oh, this one is great. There's like a wave of robots. They blow up. You see 1 running forward, another wave of robots shows up, and then they start blowing up. The influence that Murata had on 1, I think, is really coming through here. With this very, like, cinematic paneling, I feel is so characteristic of the remake. It feels like the remake is expressing itself through the art style of the original. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. So what's the scheme? Because right now it kind of seems like, yeah, they did a lot of damage, but these things are folding pretty quickly. Now, granted, probably the main force is some more specialized looking robots, like the ones that were sent to kill Dr. Kusuno. But, I don't know, now I'm starting to think, oh, it's all going to be pinned on Genos. Somehow he's going to be able to pin all of this death and destruction on Genos. Which I think would be befitting of just how friggin' tragic Genos' character is. And maybe the Neo heroes come in and arrest him, and that kind of furthers the escalation between the two things. Like, we don't know for sure that this is Dr. Beaufoy's full-out invasion, right? Like, this could just be an initial scheme to frame Genos or something. I don't know. It's just the way he's depicted, I think, kind of speaks to something like that. They're really emphasizing how it would look to an outsider. And Dr. Beaufoy spinning this as, yeah, Genos was going, he was rampaging, he's gone wild, he's malfunctioning, it's whatever. He killed even his beloved Dr. Kusuno. And then I deployed all of my security robots to stop him. Alas, he blew up so many of them. He blew up so much of the city. I don't know. Could he get away with it? It would be infuriating. It would make him such a detestable character. And I think it would also give even greater purpose to the fact that we saw such an emphasis on the actual amount of destruction, like the human destruction in those early pages. Because then it's like you know exactly what people are accusing Genos of, what they think Genos did. I don't know, this is all just my idle speculation. Saitama shows up. Man, you're strong, Genos. This see, this again, I think speaks to, like, I don't know, there's like always these parallels between Genos and like the mad cyborg and stuff, like the idea of him losing himself in his quest for revenge. I feel like there's going to be some sort of consequence to that. And it's not going to be that Genos actually loses his mind because of Saitama's presence, but we can understand that he easily could have were it not been for Saitama, but that in the eyes of the public it appears that he has. This is also interesting. It looks like he got closer to hitting Saitama than before. Just the way this is depicted. Split up. Sensei, you eliminate the enemies in the city. All attack Metal Knight's research facility. Okay. Okay, well, this... I don't know. I was just speculating idly. Maybe none of that will happen. Because if Saitama's the one fighting in the city... it's going to be hard to blame Genos for it. I don't know. Why, it looked like he was going to, like, disagree or something. I guess he's just, like, a little wary. Like, he's concerned that he's sending Genos off to his death or whatever. All of the stuff in the previous few chapters where he's speaking in an almost meta way about how Genos always loses and how hopeless it is. It was very, very funny. So I guess it's just kind of reflecting that. But he doesn't say anything. Alright. Genos blasts off. Ooh, big monster. Not just robot soldiers, but monsters too. Modified bioweapons hidden up his sleeve. Genos stops to fight it, I guess? Oh, not even slowing down. Alright, sick, sick. Okay, to be continued. Hopefully in a smaller time span than 2 years. I don't know. I presented a big theory on how I thought the story would go in the middle there, and then within a couple pages it looked like I was going to be proven wrong. At the same time, I kind of feel like this arc will still escalate in a few ways. Like, there's going to be something that kind of reincorporates the rivalry between Neo Heroes and the Hero Association. There's something that's going to, like, bring their dirty crimes to the forefront, maybe, or... I really do think that some element of, like, a great misunderstanding and the heroes are blamed for these crimes or something, and this is taken advantage of by the Neo Heroes. I think something like that just could be really compelling. It would just be really tragic and would really reinforce how evil and how much we hate Dr. Beaufoy and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see soon. Yeah, let's get back on the hype train. The other thing I gotta do, this has been a long time coming, and I can't promise you when this will happen, but we're gonna get caught up on this. Because basically the last time you saw me read chapters of this was the last time I was reading chapters of this. When Garu and Saitama are having what appears to be their final showdown in the aftermath of the Monster Association arc. I'm sure a lot has happened since then, because there's been like 50 chapters since then. No, not 50, maybe 30. So we'll get to that. I don't think I'll be able to make videos for all of it, but once I get caught up, I want to start making videos for it again, because it's, I don't know, it's just like a really exciting series to read and discuss and share theories on and stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's look forward to more. Bye-bye.